Some of you may have seen the news a little while ago about something Travis is working on, and I'm very happy that he's here to tell you all about it. Thank you, Travis.
Hello, everybody. My name is Travis Cloyd. I'm the CEO of a company called Worldwide XR. Appreciate everything you guys are doing in this industry, and I'm sure there's a lot to come. So this is kind of, for me, early stages, and I appreciate that. A little bit about our company. I look at us as kind of a company that protects, creates, and represents a lot of these digital assets and virtual beings, James Dean being one of them, which has been in the news recently. A little bit of history about our company. We were partnered and funded by a company called CMG Worldwide. I am the vice president of the company. I've been working with them for probably the last 10 years, on and off, as well as doing a bunch of other projects, virtual reality projects, feature films, working with a lot of celebrities, realizing how challenging it is to bring celebrities into these features and then get them to market the movies that we're working on, and dealing with all the politics and red tape that it takes to get them to help promote and kind of create awareness for these projects. So CMG Worldwide, we were formed in 1982, been around for the last 38 years. We started this industry in regards to representing deceased celebrities. We work with a lot of families. We've probably represented over 1,700 iconic historical people of our pastime. Right now, we're representing around 400 people. And we do a lot of business. Since history, my business partner, Mark Rosler, who's the guy who founded the company in 1982, he's been a part of a lot of different type of technologies over the years, including holograms, such as the 1990 Diet Coke commercial with Elton John, as well as many other projects along the way. Like I said, I met with the CEO of this company about a decade ago. We were working on a James Dean biopic. It's been 10 years. We were looking at the time to find, who was going to be the ultimate actor for James Dean. We had casting calls. We had potential financiers that were going to come into the mix. And we had lines wrapped around the block with different people who wanted to portray James Dean in the feature film. Never did we find somebody who we thought was the ultimate fit. Some time went by, and that person got a little bit older, and their face changed, the way their style of acting changed, and we just decided that we never could potentially make that movie. Plus, you have to have a big actor to play the part of somebody like James Dean, and obviously you guys know with the way it is to make movies, you have to have somebody who has foreign value. And if you don't have a big enough actor who has foreign value, then it's hard enough to get the movie financed. So years went by, worked on a tremendous amount of other projects, like I said, some feature films and virtual reality experiences. I did the John Travolta Speed Kills, and a movie with Nicolas Cage called The Humanity Bureau, and The Recall with Wesley Snipes, and Distorted with John Cusack. And I've worked with a lot of these famous celebrities to kind of introduce them into virtual reality, building out different applications, trying to monetize it between LBE and mobile. And we all know how challenging that is in a marketplace where not a lot of consumers have headsets on their head at all times. So we decided to move into representing a lot of the famous, iconic people of our pastime and representing their digital rights, and then moving that into a separate company called Worldwide XR, where CMG represents the estates as it relates to everything else, traditional media, print advertising, commercials, you name it, all the digital assets, the digital rights fold underneath our company. Representation management, clearances, development of IP, and asset valuations. We're very well known to run appraisals on a lot of different companies and a lot of different brands. And you can see a lot of the digital humans or virtual beings that we want to create on behalf of these iconic historical people of our pastime. We've got a lot of news in the last few weeks, some good, some bad. I mentioned James Dean 2.0 and everybody had a fit. Our intention was that the world of XR is expanding, and these are brand new ecosystems and platforms to monetize and generate revenue above and beyond, like I said, traditional media and all the other things that we're doing. We kind of break our business into 4 verticals. business solutions, brand partnerships and consulting, digital human representation, and deepfake management. Some of those things are not an issue right now, not a lot of opportunity or clients. We're hoping that one day this industry is going to expand to a place where we do have a lot of business and can work with you guys as you're creating these virtual beings and then representing those virtual beings and help monetizing your assets and your project into these new verticals. A lot of different companies we've worked with. This is just a small list. And a lot of these things are in relations to virtual reality, augmented reality, licensing out RIP to these brands, a lot of different type of commercials and ad campaigns that we run, Google Duos. Neil Armstrong is somebody who we represent. We've had an incredible year with him, given the 50th anniversary, Maya Angelou, so on and so forth. All the things that we're doing here are, like I said, really just for the next phase of XR. Metaverse, this whole ecosystem that we're about to expand in, and that's the reason why we've decided to take this push forward. Don't need to get into this and educate you guys, probably know more about this than I do, the entire ecosystem of XR. And then again, back into the James Dean 2.0, how you can take these assets. I mean, James Dean died 64 years ago, so did 3 movies. We're pretty much stuck with the exact same black and white images and photography and video that we've had over the last 64 years that we continue to license over the course of now 38 years we've represented James Dean. So this is a new way for us to build new assets and create new revenue streams as we kind of launch into the world of 5G and launch into the entire XR ecosystem. I'm not going to waste any time about this industry. We all know where it's going. We all have our opinions of where it's at, how slow it's been, and what to kind of look forward to in the future, and also what we feel is next. We feel digital asset valuation and digital humans, deepfake, spatial computing is kind of the next horizon. And we wanted to be in the forefront of creating these assets, not letting other people create these assets for them, on behalf of them. We wanted to represent the families. We wanted to make sure they are approving and signed off on everything that we do. And there's a lot of amazing creators in this room that I'm sure we're going to potentially team up with, hopefully. We're not the ones essentially creating it, but we want to be there to protect the creation of those assets when we're working with the families and with the estates. And our firm is, a firm of attorneys, and we've got a lot of brilliant attorneys on board. We're also focused on kind of the legal issues emerging in this new sector. I'm running out of time, so I don't want to get into the legal stuff. Our focus right now is, I think I mentioned it in one of the press releases, that influencers will come and go, but legends will never die. And that's kind of our philosophy, that you can create these digital beings, these virtual beings, but yet you still have to market them. You still have to create the awareness for them. You still have to get the general public to be familiar with who they are, and you've got to create all the social media campaigns. And then, I've marketed a lot of movies and ran a tremendous amount of campaigns. I know how hard that is. That's a hard thing to do, is to build a new virtual being and then knock out of the park and get everybody familiar with it. But when you're working with a deceased celebrity who has that built-in awareness and history behind them, then it makes things a lot easier. And famous James Dean quote, "If a man can live on after he has died, then maybe he was a great man." Thank you guys very much.